Um, well, I, I couldn't sleep. Um, I was up fuming on social media, just looking at all the the platforms that I go to on that site, and I had amped myself up enough to go out and buy a bottle of spray paint. I had I bought the spray paint. I went to the university campus where the library was, and I had parked close enough, and I probably waited about 10 minutes before I guess built the courage to get out of the car and go to the side of the building of the library that I knew most students saw walking to classes every day, and I spray painted 2 swastika signs, and in between that I wrote "White Lives Matter," and I didn't really take a moment to look at it. I had run back to my car, and I drove home, and I was looking to see if anybody had seen me. I didn't see any cameras. I didn't see any cops or any other students. I mean, it was about 11 o'clock at night, so I got home and then I went to bed. Um, I didn't really want to get caught for what I was doing. That was, you know, pretty on the top of my list as far as what I was thinking. But I was just mad. I was angry. I felt like, I felt like my race was being scrutinized and villainized, and I just couldn't put up with what was being said about white people, and I couldn't even complete a sentence in my head before I knew that I was grabbing the keys to my car to go get a can of paint to make people mad. I mean, that's what I really wanted to do, is to show what I thought was love and support for my race, in order to have other people understand that we have feelings too, and as much as people think I'm evil just because I'm white, that not necessarily Black lives matter, all lives matter, but white lives matter too. And I was thinking about spreading that message. That's all that had come to mind. Thinking about the people that had posted on those Facebook groups that I go to every now and then, expressing their concern and frustration. And I thought I was doing good. Thought I was doing right by my people. I you know, it I thought about what I'd done, and for a while I thought about how, you know, how proud I was for taking an action, taking a chance to spread the message that I was trying to convey. But then, you know, once it got exposed, I really started to be a little curious about as to why I did it, and you know, if I had hurt, you know, people of my race because of it. You know, I thought I was a hero for doing something like that, and you know, you start questioning whether what I did at least was the right thing, which I had believed. But you know, I mean, the biggest thing that I was thinking about since I did it was if I was going to get caught, if I was going to go to jail, if I was going to be killed. You know, I mean, I pissed a lot of people off. You know, I didn't really know what to think. I didn't know what action to take. I didn't know if I should come forward and say I did it. And if at that point, you know, a couple of days afterwards, if I had done that, I felt like I would have been a little bit more of a proud stance of doing it, rather than having acknowledged that what I did do was not okay. So as far as like what I've thought about since, it's definitely, you know, why I did it and why I shouldn't have done it, and who I guess I affected. Um, well, I don't know that I need to know. I mean, I guess I didn't know just how many people I affected, how many people it impacted. You know, I thought I was specifically speaking to maybe just two groups of people. You know, Jewish people and black people, and once word got out what I'd done, I didn't know just how much support from other communities that they had gotten. I mean, even from city council members to student body forums and, you know, professors, parents, pastors. I didn't know how much people cared. I didn't know how much I was misinformed about my negligence and hate towards people. You know, I really had to. It was like I was being retaught, you know, about how I affect people through my actions and words, and I mean, being retaught the history of, you know, civil rights and the rights of others, and hurting people. You know, I mean, there's still plenty I don't know, plenty I'm still learning. But I definitely know now it's going to take some time for me to rehabilitate and acquaint myself in the community, and for people to forgive me as well as forgive myself for what I had done. But I would say, I mean, you know, what I didn't know is how much I don't know. As far as making it right, I mean, you know, as far as rebuilding trust, you know, that is a two-way street involving me and the other party. And I have to respect the fact that the other party may have some doubts about trusting me again, and it's going to take some time for that. And as far as rehabilitating, I think that involves me informing myself and being informed from others, as well as informing people too for what I did, because I think the best way to learn from my mistake is to be honest with my mistake and telling people what I did, because that's where it started for me. That's when things became honest for me. That's when things started to rehabilitate for me, is because I did this thing that I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't have a clue as to why I was doing it and who it would affect. And for me, as far as that goes, it would be, like I said, it would be telling my story so that I'm not just cut off from society from being a bad person for doing a bad thing, as much as it's like anybody else who makes a mistake in order to rebuild trust through the community, and let others know that those who've made mistakes too, who are just like me, can start to rebuild as well. I mean, I can't, I mean, I would say people who have misunderstandings about cultural differences, or even just people who don't understand why people look a certain way, racist people, anybody who has this idea in their head that just because their skin color is a certain way, they're more important than someone else. It's essentially people on social media who are spreading misinformation about, well, these people do that and these people do this, and the biggest thing that I know we're, in some way or another, we're all at fault. But it's also going to take all of us to help each other rebuild in such a way where we can trust one another again, and that's where I'm at. So as far as people who I put on my list, I would say the people whose Facebook groups I visited, I don't, that's all I can think of. I wouldn't know who else to put on that list other than I would know people like me. I would say that I am very sorry, but I don't think that does enough to help heal this injustice. But what I can promise, and what I will say to those that I've affected, is that I am trying to do my best to inform myself why and what I did was wrong, in order to make sure that no one else does something like that either. Not only would I'd love the support. Not only would I love the support, but from that support, as much as I've been given already, I would love to support others as well who are struggling through what I am, who are misinformed as much as I am. So yeah, I'd love some support, especially from the people who I did wrong, because that's the only way I'm going to learn. Is if I support myself through learning through my mistakes, as well as the people who I hurt supporting me into learning why it was wrong.